We all know how much distance is the safe distance between you and another person out in public. They call that social distancing. We know that's 6 feet, right? What about financial distancing? How much distance do you need to have between you and crisis? That's coming up. Welcome to today's Next Wise Step video. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of The Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group, a team of financial professionals all working together, collaborating to deliver financial wisdom to our clients and help them take their next wise step in their lives. And I'm coming to you with a video each and every business day, helping you take the next wise step in your life. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button, that like button. I appreciate that. It helps other people find this content. All right, so we've got states that are starting to open up their borders and starting to lax some of their travel restrictions, but the phase 3 plan, the 1, 2, 3 phases, they still suggest a measure of social distancing, and we know social distancing. So when you're out in public, as you're now starting to move about the country, it's 6 feet. We all know that, right? Now we do. What's the right financial distance? I'm talking about financial distancing between where you are and financial crisis. Well, we can't measure that in linear feet. How do you measure that? And I think even before I give you some ideas, just what's your overall sense? How much distance is there between where you are right now and a financial crisis? And when this coronavirus thing hit and it really shut down the economy, I think there are a lot of people that were thinking they were much further away from crisis than they actually were because of the unique type of financial disaster that this was. And now they realize, well, gosh, I couldn't have planned for that. I'm assuming Disney didn't have a plan for having to shut down all their parks, shut down all their movies, and pretty much shut down the entire sports programming network all at once. Right? So if that's you applied to your personal life, you might have felt like you were a far distance away from financial crisis, but you turned out to be a lot closer than you thought. Well, let's use this time. Don't waste a crisis. Let's learn from this. How far away are you right now from financial crisis? If you're in financial crisis right now, if you say, hey, there's no distance, I'm there, then you need triage right now. You need to contact your certified financial planner. Don't say, well, I don't have any money, or I'm trying to make ends meet, I can't talk to anyone. That means you need to talk to someone right now. Contact your certified financial planner. Make sure you shouldn't be applying for unemployment. Make sure you shouldn't be adjusting this or adjusting that. So you've got to talk to a financial professional right now if you're in crisis. Okay, if you're not in crisis, how do you measure the distance between where you are and financial crisis? And I think there are several areas, but the top 3 are right here. The first is, how much margin do you have in your monthly budget? And if you don't like that word because it's a 4-letter word, it feels like a restricting turtleneck, then instead of budget, say in your monthly cash flow, okay? How much discretionary money do you have each and every month to say, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, versus is it super, super tight and it's hard for you to get to the end of the month without using a credit card, something like that. So that's the first question as you're trying to calculate how much distance do you have between where you are now and financial crisis. You need to measure how much margin you have, or goal achievement dollars, or discretionary income. I don't really care what you call it, but when you track how much money is coming in every single month, calculate, all right, this much goes towards rent, this much goes toward rent or the mortgage, this much goes to the car payment, this is student loan payment, this is Netflix, this is what we typically spend on groceries and shopping and so on. Calculate how much margin, how much is left over after all those things that you've already said yes to, or you know you're going to say yes to. How much margin is there? If you've got a healthy amount of margin, I would say you're pretty safe distance away, or could be a safe distance away between where you are and financial crisis. If you don't have a lot of margin, once again, your action items to go through that budget and see, what can I tweak? Is this an income problem or an expense problem? If it's income, find a second job, find a way to make a little bit more money. That's hard to do right now, so it might be you've just got to work on expenses. Okay, so that's the first way I would measure where you are today from financial crisis, that financial distancing, the amount of margin that you have. The second one is the amount of money in your emergency fund. I actually don't like calling this thing an emergency fund. I'd rather call it a financial confidence account. Because as the economy was grinding to a halt, it wasn't even grinding, it was screeching to a halt, as it just stopped, okay? If you had a fully funded bank, kind of cash reserve bank account with a lot of dollars sitting there, you probably had a lot of confidence going into this uncertainty. So, is your emergency fund or financial confidence account, is it fully funded? Is it funded at all? If you don't have any money in there, then I would say the distance between you and financial crisis isn't very far. But if you've had a goal of having 6 months of our lifestyle built up, if you remember, that's sort of the rule of thumb, 3 to 6 months of your lifestyle set aside in an emergency account, a money market or a savings account. If you've got that thing fully funded, you got a good distance between you and financial crisis. Okay, so map out where you are with your emergency fund or funding your financial confidence account, and have that determine, okay, how close are you to financial crisis? If you're not where you want to be, if you feel like you're too close, figure out a strategy to build that account back up. Right now, with everything being uncertain in the economy, maybe your income's down, maybe now is not the time where you can aggressively build that back up. But set some targets out there in the future. Hey, next year's tax refund, or if we do get another stimulus, or whatever, this is how I'll take it from $500 up to $10,000, something like that, okay? The last kind of way that I would have you measure how much distance there is between you today and a financial crisis is I would look at the ways you're managing risk in your financial life. We call this protection planning, but it's taking a look at, all right, if I have a health emergency come up, do I have a strategy to prepare for that? If I have medical expenses come up, do I have the resources available in the insurance to cover that expense? If a disability occurs, if my spouse passes away, or if I pass away, will I be leaving a financial crisis for someone else? So I think I would go through those types of risk management areas within your protection plan. If I get in a car accident, something like that, and I would kind of role play and just say, it's not really fun thinking about those things, but I go through each and say, well, if I have a car accident, if I have a medical need, if I get disabled, if the house burns down, those sorts of things, how close am I to financial crisis, or do I have the right protection in place to help me bounce back from an event like that? If you don't have the clarity and confidence that you've got the right protection in place, then I would say there's probably not much distance between you and financial crisis. But if you've recently reviewed that with your certified financial planner, you might be able to say confidently, no, actually, I do. I feel pretty good. I mean, obviously, having a house burn down or getting a car accident would never be great financially, but I feel like we've got the right protection. Then I would say you've got a good distance between where you are in financial crisis. So I would look at those three things, not any one in isolation, but I'd look at those three things to help you measure between where you are and a financial crisis. How much margin do you have in your monthly cash flow? How much money do you have set aside in your emergency fund or financial confidence account? Do you have the right amount? Is it too little? Is it too much? And then how comfortable are you with the amount of risk management, the protections, the insurance protections that you have in place from sort of the everyday financial risks? So I'd look at those three things, and depending on how you answer, that should tell you whether you're too close to the edge of financial crisis or whether you're a healthy distance away. If you're not a healthy distance away, I would encourage you to contact your financial planner, because the truth is it's really not just those three areas, those three issues that determine whether you are a safe distance away from financial crisis. In this particular episode, we know the coronavirus sort of created a crisis for everyone, and it was immediately known, all right, did I have enough distance between me and crisis or not? But the truth is, an event can happen in your life almost at any time. A family member could pass away. You could have an investment go under. You could get a notice from the IRS saying you owe a whole bunch of dollars on your taxes. All sorts of things could happen that all of a sudden pop up, and I want you to make sure that you're a safe distance away from financial crisis. You need a new roof. You get in a car accident, something like that. I want to make sure you've got a safe amount of distance, financial distance between you and financial crisis. So contact your certified financial planner and go through those steps and talk through what protections and precautions you have in place. If you don't have a certified financial planner, you can always contact a member of our team. You want to look for someone that's a CFP that's doing comprehensive financial planning. And that's certainly what we do here at Korhorn Financial Group. You can find us online at korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, I hope that helps you. You're now ready. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.